Hello everyone, welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful and exciting tutorial, we're trying to continue with our project, right? The Streamlit challenge, which is going to be some series of Streamlit applications to be building. So in the previous tutorial, we saw how to build a commenter app. We saw how to build some multiple apps. Let's see how to build another generator app, right? So the app we'll be building is going to be something simple. We are building two types of app in this session. So it's going to be a simple app like this, right? So we are building an ambivalent word generator app and then a Ubuntu code name generator app, right? So as you already know, Ubuntu is the operating system that most of the time I work on, and then it's having a system of naming, right, which is mostly an adjective and then an animal name, right? So all the Ubuntu versions has this particular type of naming. We're trying to develop something like that. That is one part of the app. The other part of the app is an ambivalent word. So ambivalent word means it's a word that is a mixture of opposing feelings, so positive and negative together, like love, hate words, right? That is the word ambivalent. So we're trying to build two apps, the ambivalent app and then the Ubuntu code name generator app, right? So let's see what we're building. So this is the app we'll be building, and to recap, all the apps we'll be building are already on our GitHub page here, right? On the Streamlit project, we have the app we'll be building for now is the Ubuntu names, right, which is 2-in-1, right? Yeah, but we will still build it anyway. Okay, so let's go back to the app we'll be building. So this is the app we'll be building, ambivalent and an Ubuntu name generator app. So if I come back to this simple app here, we have the Ubuntu name clone. I call it clone because it's simple like that, and I can pick a particular name, right? So by default, if I go with this name, let's pick B, right, automatically generate name. This is similar to the previous app we built, right? So we have brief Blue Jay, right? Brief Blue Jay. So brief Blue Jay is the name you are giving, an adjective, and then an animal. So let's go with D, generate. Diverse donkey. So funny name, right? So generating some very funny names for us, right? Which is for the Ubuntu name generator. For the ambivalent words, it's a combination of opposing feelings. So we have positive and negative. So I can just come back again and click on ambivalent, right? So ambivalentize my own word. So we have low cost misreading, low cost and misreading. Something that is low cost and is misreading. Let's run it again. For another one, we have paramount hostility. These words are ambivalent words. So you can actually pick it per word. So let's pick E and ambivalentize, eventful extortion. So this is a simple app we'll be trying to build in this 1 hour tutorial. So let's see what we'll be building. So as you already know, the workflow is that we are going to have a session to receive an input, a processing section to either can be a function, it can be a database, it can be an API or dataset to do, or a package to do something. Then it's going to have an output where we can see, right? That is our workflow. So let's go back and see how to build it. So this part of the app, we will be using a simple tool to generate the template. There's a simple tool on JCharisTech GitHub page, which is called Webgenesis, right? So this is a simple CLI for creating basic Hello World apps. So you can just go back to this particular place, give it a star, right, if you like it. Okay, and then you can just clone it, or it's available on PyPy. You can clone it, or you can install it with pip. So you can clone it here, right? You can just clone it and then everything is here, right? You can also install it with pip, right? So pip install Webgenesis, right? Any of them is going to work. And it's a very simple tool. In case you don't want to even install it, you can just copy this file, right? And then run it. So that's what we're trying to do. Later on app, add more features to it, and then you can also have access to it. Okay, so let's go back to our app. So this is the app that was running. I'm going to close this app. And then we'll move from here, right? Let's move from here to our Streamlit project, right? I come here, there's nothing here. We have our two projects, so let's make our directory. So let's use the app that I said on, right? The package we are talking about. So this is the package. It's called Webgenesis, right? And I already have the file, so I'll just use it. So I'll paste the file here, right? The package is available, but you can also use this one. Any of them will still work. So if I go back again, I check it out. We have my Webgenesis here. It's a Python file. So go with Python. Later on, you'll be using it most of the time, right? And I'll just go to Webgenesis. So this is how to create it. So I already did one. Let's go with .help. and then you're going to see the how to use it, right? So having the create option that allows you to be able to create a basic startup project for your specified web framework. So if I go back again to the create option, right, I can also see what you can do, right? So you can actually create for Flask, for Express, Streamlit, Bottle, Quad, Tornado, Fast API, Streamlit, multi-page, right? So all you have to do just with Webgenesis create Flask template, right? It's going to create a simple hello world for you. The same thing for this one, right? So let's go back and see how it works. So I'll just go back again, right? And I'm just going to Python 3 Webgenesis. In case you install the package itself, you just go with Webgenesis. So Webgenesis, right? In case you install the package, but yeah, we will work on it later. Okay, so this create, then I'm just going to go back and then I'm going to create a Streamlit. Let's create a Streamlit multi-page. Then let's give it a name. So the F means folder. The folder name, let's give it the name as 01. We're going to give it the name, not 01, we are giving 07 dot Ubuntu. What name did we give it here? Inside our Streamlit project, we gave it as Ubuntu Names Clone. Yeah, that's the name we give to it. So we just use the same name to keep Ubuntu Names Clone. Right, if I go with this, automatically generate it for us. If I check it out, we have it here, right? Ubuntu Names Clone app, right? Yeah, funny name. Now let's open it. So I'm going to open Sublime Test. So these are all the apps we have built so far. Of course, we have built more, but this is where we are now. Day 7, yeah. But we will just use it anyhow. Okay, so it has generated a very simple template for us. I do not need to type all the things I most of the time type, right? Very simple. Okay, so that is it. Now let's build our app. So the workflow for the app is that it must have an input and then the function and an output. So we'll go back here and work on that. Okay, so let's go back with it. So we are going to change this one from Streamlit app to, let's call it as my ambivalent word, or to ambivalent and Ubuntu Names app. So Ubuntu Names Generator app, something like that. And let's call it a Streamlit project. Streamlit project, right? Okay, perfect. So we have our home. Just to now we have to create our session for it. So let's create our layout using a column 1 and then column 2 to make it better. So st.columns, 2 columns. Then I'm going to specify that, okay, with column 1 I want you to do something. So st.info, this is going to be my Ubuntu Names Generator session of the app, right? Perfect. Then the next one is going to be for the other one, which is with column 2 st.success to make it look different. This is going to be my ambivalent words generator, right? So we have 2 sessions of the app. Perfect. So let's build a session to receive the input. So just as we did in the previous session, that's the same thing we'll be doing here, right? So this time we will just be going straight away with my alphabet list. So alphabet list. Yeah, let's go with alphabet. So the same thing we did in the previous session, that's what we're trying to do, right? To make it simple. So let's first of all give it my alphabet type. Alphabet type, which is going to be my st.select box. I'm going to pass in my thing to start with, right? And I'll pass in my alphabet. So to pass in the alphabet, I'll just go back again and just go with import string. So with string we can get all the alphabet. So go with my list, convert the entire stuff into a list, then string dot ASCII dot lower, right? This time we can make it uppercase, so upper. I don't know why my typing is slow, but apologies for that. Right, uppercase. Perfect. So this is going to generate a list for us that we can actually select from. Perfect. That is all. And we need a button. So st dot button. We want to create a button called generate Ubuntu name. So Ubuntu name, right? Then This is an if condition going to tell the result. So this is very simple. Let's automatically work on it, right? So just as we did above, we are going to return the result. So the result is going to be, we are using random as we saw earlier on. So there's a whole video in the previous session on it. So I'm just going to import random. Then we are going to have our files. So in the previous tutorial, we had this particular names file here, this particular file, ultimate word list. So I'll go back and copy that particular stuff which was here, copy this one. We're using the same thing for our app, right? Because we are picking the adjectives and then the animals to get our Ubuntu name, right? Because based on what we read on their website, it consists of an adjective and then an animal, right? So adjective and animal, right? So we are going to be picking that particular one. So I just go back again and then we work on it. So random, so going with random dot choice, be picking from that particular word that we have, right? So let's pick it from the words. So after importing it, I'm going to go with from ultimate word list, import adjective. So we are going to put an animals list and then the adjective list, right? That is how to work with it, right? Okay, so these are the only two things we are importing for now. Then I'll just pass it here. I'll pass in my ambivalent words. So let's pass in, it is an animal first, plus random.choice, the adverb, right? Or adjective, I said adverb. Let's make sure that we are correct. No, it's the other way around. It's a protive. It's the other way around, right? So the animal first, the adjective, and then the animal first, right? So let's return this result and see whether the app is working. So st.result, st.result, st.write. Okay, I hope everybody can hear me now. Now let's run the app. So far we have not run the app, so we'll move into my 07 app. Then I'm just going to go with my Streamlit run app. So let's see what we'll be doing next. So what's opening is an adjective and then an animal. Let's make sure that's correct. We have an adjective first and then an animal, right? Perfect. So that is how it's going to work. But based on the format that Ubuntu from their documentation as we are seeing here, it goes with the same word. So alpha, the same start word. So if it is www, if it is hh, right, the same word, right? That is the basic understanding. So we'll just go back again and make sure that we get that one out. The app has already opened, so this is port. I'll copy this one from here. Automatically it's going to use a different app to open, but you will just work on it anyway. So I'll paste in here. See what I did. I'm going to paste in this one. So copy link, go back to my browser here, and I'm going to paste it here, right? Perfect. So this is the app that you are going to be designing, the first part of the app. Take some time for it to run. Hopefully everything works well. Okay, perfect. So we have gotten our app already designed, right? So we have this session here. We have the start with. Let's click on generate Ubuntu name. Automatically going to print out a random name for us. Helping Madfish, right? But this is not what we want. We need to get the same word. First letter, second letter, right? The same. So how do we do that? So that is the point of the start with. So I'll come down here and then I'll just go back and then work on that particular function. Be creating a simple function to about that. We already did that function previously, but we just want to do it again for people that were not here. So I'll just go back to the top of my app. I'm going to create another function to pick those words. So to recap on that one, for those that were not here, in case I want to do that particular option here, right? I want to check on select with, right? It's very simple to, well, that is not select with, but start with, right, to pick that particular word out of a list. So let's say I have a list and I want to get all the words out of it. So this is going to be my list. And I want to get all the words. I have words like, let's say, Jesse, as we saw earlier on. But like his name. Yes, I have a word like Mark. I have another word like Mary. I have another word like, let's say, Ali. I have another word like Krishna. Right, something like that. I have these words. I have another word like, let's say, I don't know how I spell Kwame. Right? So I have these words there. Now, in case I want to select a particular word from there, I can just go it for I in my list. Right? I'm going to say if the I starts with, let's say, a word like M, I want you to print that particular word out. So we see that we're able to filter it and get Mark and Mary, right? Very simple, right? So this is a simple function. So I can convert this entire stuff into a list comprehension. The next is going to be my list L, which is going to be the same thing we did. So in our list comprehension, you start from the back. So I first, then from I you move on to 4. So the last one first, then you move on to 4, right? 4. I in my list. If I dot starts with then the particular character M, I want you to bring it out. So I made a mistake here because I brought 2N, 2 in. Sometimes we type faster, our mind is thinking faster. For I, you see, the reason I made a mistake, as you could see, this is the correct way. I forgot it. So let's work on it. So this is it. And then let's go with this option for I, not for in. It's going to be for I in this, right? Now if I go with this, we get it. So this is a simple function we're using to help us get that particular one. So I'll copy this one from here, move back and create a simple function to help us filter our words. So let's call it as my function. So call that def custom filter. This is going to take in my list and then the start character. As we saw earlier on, I'm going to return a result, which is going to be this one here. So the list, and then I'm going to specify the start character here. Perfect. So that is a simple function that we'll be using. Then now we can return this one. So return result. Perfect, right? That is a simple function we are using to help us get it. We can make this function better by converting them to typing. So that always takes a list and it's always going to return a list, right? Something like that. So it takes a list and then it's going to take a string. For this one, it's going to return a list. So this is typing to make it look better, right? Okay, but you can also ignore them. So let's make it like this. I'll copy this one here so that people from the future can have access to it. So this is a normal one and this is a function with typing. Function with typing, right? Okay, so these are functions. So this is the function we're using to filter in our animal list and our adjective list. So I'll come down here and I'm going to create those particular ones there. So let's go to my custom in-mouse list. With my custom filter, I'll pass in my function. So the function is going to be the animals list and then the start character or the alphabet type. So alphabet type, right? Perfect. And I'll do the same thing for the custom adjective words. So custom adjective, I can't spell adjective list, right? So we're going to be custom filter. I'll pass in my adjective list, pass in the alphabet type, right? So this is what we are going to be selecting from this one. Perfect. So that is it. So this is going to be our return result, right? So the result is now no more going to be adjective list. It's going to be my custom adjective list, and then the animal is also going to be the custom one. So custom animals list, and the result is going to be 10. Let's make it copyable. To copy to clipboard. So st dot copy and pass in my results. If I change it, let's go back and see what you have done so far. So always rerun the app. Perfect. So we have only A. So if I go with generate, so index is out of range. So can somebody tell me why we had this error? So the reason we had this error is that because inside our list it is all small letters. So we have to make sure that we convert the alphabet type into uppercase, into lowercase rather. Right? Perfect. So now if I go back again and I run it, Ubuntu, voila. So custom names list is not defined. So custom animals list is animals word list. See what I did. Custom animals. Let's make it custom list. So in case you have any question or contribution, you can also put it in the comment section below, and check the links below for some interesting material. So if you see here we have amazing app, right? Amazing app, it works. Streamlit has no attribute called copy. It is not copy, it is called code. But that is going to be a nice feature. Yeah, but code is better. So click it again. We have a adapted affit, right? Very nice. I can change it from this, so we are now in Z. So let's try it and see whether we're going to get the same name that they have. So it's out of range. Right, so let's go with F. So the reason it's out of range, sometimes the words are not there, that's why. So you have to create another function later on in the future when you are refactoring some of the apps on how to make it better, right? So Frank Fosford, very nice. So we are done with the first part of the app, the Ubuntu Names Generator. Let's move on from here, right? Let's move on from here to the ambivalent way. So this is going to be the ambivalent way. So it's going to be the same thing we did above. So I'll copy this one. Not going to change anything, and I'll modify them, right? So come back here, paste them. We are going to have an alphabet that's selecting from. Perfect. We are going to change this button from generate Ubuntu name to ambivalentize. Yeah, and then from there we are going to apply the same function, but this time I'm going to change this one from positive word list and then negative word list, because ambivalent words are opposed feelings, so positive and negative. Then I'm going to change this one from animal list to positive word list, and then this is going to be my negative word list. So this positive word list and the negative word list is coming from our ultimate file, ultimate list here, which is the same one we used in the previous session here, right? So we have positive and negative word list. So negative word list, positive word list. That's what we are importing. We are importing from this particular file. Right, so we have the positive word list and then the negative word list. Right, perfect. So that's what you are importing here. Then whatever the result is going to come, we are going to be turning this result, copy this result, and then paste it here. So ambivalent words is positive and then negative words combined according to the definition, opposing feelings. So let's go back again and check it out. Perfect, right? So we have specified a key to keep the duplicates away. Then now we have our word. So let's go with ambivalentize. We have affluent anti-occupation. Oh boy, that is so funny. How can somebody be against occupation and still be affluent? Very interesting, yeah? Okay, so it's working well. So everything works well, right? This is using the start with. But one thing that we can actually add another feature, correctly cheat. This is funny, yeah? So our app is working as expected. Everything works well. So we added one more feature to it. We can copy it to clipboard. We added one more feature to this simple app here built. Is we also want to add any to automatically generate any, not just the same letter word, right? So I'll go back again and I'll see. We'll just work on how to add any to it. So we already have this, our list here, this particular list here. So I'll copy this one here, come back, st dot. Yeah, let's go with the code, paste in this, get the results, copy it. This is some simple hacks I'm using. We're going to get our words here. I'll copy this one and I'll add the word any to it. Right? So this is going to be our alphabet list. Take off this, it's going to be alphabet list with any, which is going to be the same thing we did above, right? So this is going to be a list. I'm going to add the word any in front of it. So if it is any, right, so we're going to add a simple condition. So if the alphabet type is equal to any, I want you to do something, right? I want you to use not this one, but randomly choose from them. So it's going to be my result. It's going to be my random choice. So let's copy it because it's the same thing. If it's any, just randomly pick. Don't specify whether it's just word list, whether it's just positive or negative, whether it's just following alphabetical order. How is my English? Else, just follow this particular pattern, right? And then return the result. So what we did is that we brought any, and we said that if the alphabet type is any, I want you to randomly pick from any of them. Don't sort it by the alphabet. Else, sort it by the alphabet and give us a result. So I'll go back again to the app. Let's go back here. This is a generate Ubuntu name. So let's go back to this particular part of the app. Let's make sure that everything is working as expected. Yeah. So the reason it's giving us this error is that we need to fix something here. So yeah, we need to fix this alphabet with any. Perfect. So let's go back and see. Yeah, I don't know why it is repeating this one, but let's see whether it's going to work. Any, let's run it again. It is repeating this. It's not supposed to repeat this. So hardly, mocking. So these are just randomly missing them, right? But you need to change this one. I'll go back again and fix it. Yep, I refreshed it and then it's working, right? So let's check it out again. So we are using any, and automatically it's going to be convenient indecently. Very funny, very interesting. So you have seen how to build this simple app from scratch using Streamlit. So we just follow the same workflow, right? As we saw, we had a display, an input session, a function to randomize it, and then our output session. So thank you for watching this tutorial. In case you have any question or contribution, you can just post at the comment section below, and see you in the next session. So to recap on the app that we built, it was very simple. We just imported our core packages, and then from our ultimate word list, we had all of this word list that we have using. We created a custom filter to filter the words per the character, and then we just went on and then selected them, right, with this option using random to create our random choice. The same thing for the ambivalent words here, right? So thank you for watching. See you in the next session, and don't forget to check out our materials on Udemy and then other places, right? So the code is going to be on our GitHub page. So thank you for watching. Bye for now.